Okay, so for my project, I decided I was going to interview my boss's daughter, Scarlett. So, to give you a little bit of background on Scarlett, her whole family is from Laos, but they've been living here in the United States for about 5 years. And they recently moved from Minnesota so that they could start a Thai restaurant here in Utah. So, Scarlett and her family are all very Buddhist. Her dad and her uncle were actually Buddhist monks for about 4 years each. And Scarlett's now attending elementary school in American Fork. So, I was interested in talking to Scarlett mostly because of a conversation that we had last week about what it's like to be living in Utah compared to Minnesota, and then compared to her community in Laos and also all of the people from Laos who are living with her. So the other week, Scarlett walked into the Thai village and she was just sobbing, and she was so upset because her dad wouldn't let her get new clothes. And so her dad was super confused because he said her clothes were fine and he couldn't understand why she was getting so upset over something so small. But after I talked to Scarlett for a little while, I asked her, like, why is she so upset? Like, her clothes really look fine. And then she finally said that she wanted new clothes so that she could have modest clothes. And so that was really interesting to me because as a Buddhist, she has a very different idea of what modesty is compared to the Mormon community. But because all of a sudden she's going to a school, an elementary school in American Fork that has a very large Mormon population, she really feels the need to start living by some of the standards that her classmates are living by. So, in my interview with Scarlett, it was really interesting to hear what things she decided to take on herself and what things she decided not to take from the Mormon community. So, some of the things that were really interesting that she was saying is that she did want to start dressing more modestly. And she also said that she tells her friends at school that she doesn't drink coffee or tea, but she does it secretly at the Thai village where nobody will see her. And by using words like secretly so no one can see, it was really interesting to me because for her religion, she had no reason to be secret about drinking coffee or drinking tea because that wasn't part of what she believed. But all of a sudden, because she was in a community that saw those things as very wrong, she decided that she had to do those things secretly so that nobody would know. She said that some of her classmates would call her bad because she drank coffee, and some of those things I thought were just so interesting to hear about from an outside perspective. And this really made me aware of my role as a teacher and the things that I am encouraging my students to do and things that I'm saying in my classroom. This just made me so aware of not pushing my own thoughts or morality onto other people and just being accepting of the things that they believe, and knowing that we all believe different things and that I need to be willing to let other people believe differently than I do. I thought it was interesting listening to Scarlett too because she talked a lot about how it really goes back and forth between how accepted she is in school. She says that there's some people who are so accepting towards her and very kind, but she also said that there's a lot of groups that say that she can't be friends with them or can't be part of their group because she's Buddhist and doesn't believe in Jesus Christ, which I thought was really interesting to hear from an outside perspective. I think there's a lot that we can do to help our students feel comfortable in the classroom, and my eyes have really been open to some of the problems that they might be facing.